Raj Majumdar, and I'm participating in the making of video for the device driver project. My segment, I'll talk about why we chose user mode Linux. When we chose the project for device drivers, we were kind of a quandary because testing kernel and device drivers requires you to basically have a dedicated machine to test on, and that wasn't an option for us. And then we stumbled upon user mode Linux. User mode Linux is a port of the Linux kernel, but not on a separate hardware. It's actually a port of the kernel which runs on a virtual machine based on the system call interface of Linux itself. In other words, it runs as a user space process on another Linux kernel, and that has a lot of advantages for us because a buggy kernel, I mean, we were testing drivers and some of them were bound to be buggy in the early stages of development, and we didn't want to bring the whole machine down. And since in user mode Linux the kernel runs as a constrained user process, so it would just crash that one process and not bring the whole machine down. And the other advantage was that we could debug our drivers using GDB. That was a big advantage as well. But really, the major disadvantage of user mode Linux is that it doesn't have any hardware. It does not use the hardware on the host system, which wasn't a real problem for us because our device driver, Skull, is basically a simulated device. It uses a memory pool as a device, so we could easily implement in user mode Linux. That's kind of an overview of the reasons why we chose user mode Linux. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Dhanesh Pallurupalli, team member of DD5 project team. The other team, we discussed about the several projects suggested by Professor. Finally, we decided to start working on device drivers. The reason why we choose device drivers is often as a Windows user we face several problems with the drivers. So we felt we should learn about the device drivers so we can understand what those problems are. The second reason is nowadays we are connecting so many external hardware to the computer. So we felt it will be useful to learn about the drivers, which will be useful for future. About the making the video, we had several options to use several hardware and several software. Some of them are too time consuming, but finally we decided to use Power Video Presenter, which is very simple tool to use and then very informative tool. Thank you.
After going through different options, we finally decided to make a PowerPoint presentation out of it and convert that presentation into a video. To make that happen, we found a tool called Power Video Presenter, which takes the PowerPoint as an input and converts that into a video. For the making of video, we decided to make individual video clips, and each one of us will talk about one topic. Finally, one of us combines all this together into a single video and upload it into YouTube. To combine the video and make it a single video, we used Windows Movie Maker, which is a very easy to use tool for capturing and converting video. That's all from me about the project. Thanks for listening.
Hello everyone, my name is Xiaodong. I'm going to talk about the user mode Linux, how to build it and compile and debug the driver on it. User mode Linux allows us to run one Linux and another in the user space. You might have heard something like this before. Conceptually, they're very much like a matrix. You may watch the movie already. Here, hardware is the real world. Linux kernel is like matrix, while user mode Linux is just like a matrix in another matrix. Yes, it's like a matrix reloaded. You can even imagine process 1 is a perfect oracle and process 2 is neo. User mode Linux has been put back into the Linux kernel from version 2.4. You can simply build the user mode Linux by set arch to UM when you do a menu config. Here are several scenarios to use user mode Linux. First, we have Linux kernel and debug driver as a normal user space applications. Second, we can set up a virtual LAN running several user mode Linux and connect them with each other on a single host. Third, we can use user mode Linux to set up honeypots to attract borrowers and hackers' attention. Here are steps to build a user mode Linux. The only difference with normal build is to set the arch to UM. Build a driver for user mode Linux is very easy. We only need to set arch to UM when make a driver. The kernel dir here is pointed to the directory when doing a make module install. Here are the steps to debug the driver on user mode Linux. First, we start user mode Linux, and then we allow user mode Linux to state the host file system. When we load the driver on host, we can use DDB to attach the Linux process and begin the debugging. Here is how we check the process running on the host and the user mode Linux. Here is how we debugging a Linux kernel.